Hi, we're Animeishness. This is
Aeris-Blue.
I am the Crimson Reaper, the great stealer of souls, a butler to die for.
Yako. That's Yako.
And I'm Div, and today we are reviewing Black Butler.
We here at Team Animeishness hate doing summaries, so we draw cards. Low card has to give summary, high card gets to give first opinion. Alright.
I got smashed.
I have an 8.
I have an 8!
So we tie, so we'll just go back and forth. Black Butler is the story of a young seal Phantom Hive. Phantom Hive?
Yes.
Phantom
Okay.
Hive, yes.
Heir of the Phantom Hive Industries. Are they candy or toys?
Toys.
Toys. They make
Phantom.
toys. Phantom? Oh
Phantom.
gosh, that's as bad as you're in good company.
No, it's not.
He makes a contract with his demon butler, Sebastian McAllis, and this is his journey for revenge. We are reviewing the dub.
Yes.
Anything you want to add to the summary, aside from correcting my errors?
Nope, I'm good.
Alright, first opinion.
I would have to answer as Yako instead of Grell, don't I?
Yes, or else we're never going to let you cosplay again.
Okay. My opinion of this one is pretty high in regards. I enjoyed this one a lot. I think that the plot was really well outlined and well defined, and that it translated fairly well from the manga. I've got a couple of the manga at home that I've read. The art's really nice. The animation's pretty good. And overall, I just think it's a really solid series. Also, by itself, Season 1. We're only reviewing
Yes.
Season 1.
There is no Season 2. I've come to believe that.
When I first watched this series, I became a super fan of it. And this
As
was
a
my...
lot of people do.
Yeah, and this was my first cosplay ever. Let's see, what else can I comment on that one? That I had it in my head until I started stroking Grell's hair, and then it all just went away.
Like your sanity.
Alright, why don't you guys take it away?
Alright.
I'll say things as
When
think
I
of them.
watched this series, I wanted to immediately introduce it to other people to get their opinions of it, and Yako is the first one I turn to for that almost always. And I really did like the series quite a bit. It was my first introduction to most of these character types, because it's different than what I normally watch, and it was the first one to be really different, because the characters, instead of being defined tropes, are a little different. They try to combine several into one character while still having them be pretty... They're dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
And I always looked forward to when a new character is introduced. But as far as plot goes, I didn't think it was that outlined, personally.
I thought it went really well.
Just because...
I guess the end with one of the main antagonists that's introduced in the end, it did get a little muddled.
Because the main antagonist is introduced early. You just don't know who it is, and we are not going to do any spoilers to give it away. And you meet them early on. This allows you to believe that there is a set ending for it, but most of the episodes follow a filler-like pattern or a very minimal story arc.
In all honesty, this is one of the few animes I actually read the manga completely before I watched it.
Oh my gosh.
And so
Wasn't my chapter glorious?
when I watched it, no. I actually couldn't stand it. I actually couldn't stand it at first because the British accents threw me off so bad, and it was so hard to listen to them because some were so... like, they just sit there and grind on your...
And
every
as always,
nerve.
we're reviewing the voice acting based on the dub, if there is one provided. And I watched this show subbed first, and I can't sit through the dub.
I grew to like it. I did.
I don't hate the dub. I like the sub better because of, actually pretty much Undertaker specifically. I don't care, I really did not like his English dub voice. It's a talented voice actor, but I feel they reused the same voice they used for Lord
Soul
Death
Eater.
and Soul Eater, and it drove me up a wall because in Japanese his voice is fantastic. It's really creepy, and in that one I feel like it kind of turned him into a joke.
Yeah, a Joker type character.
And I get that he likes to laugh. Maybe
Yes.
that's the angle they were going at, but I liked it better when he was really portrayed as dark and creepy.
Mhm.
Yeah, he didn't come off as creepy at all. He actually came off as slightly annoying.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, he was supposed to be my favorite character. I had planned him because when I read it, he was my favorite character. Now Shiel is...
Which is a very different character for you. So
Because-
let's go ahead and start favorite characters.
Yeah, mine's Shiel because he's adorable. Not eye candy. I actually
once.
don't care for the eye candy. Love the voice actor, don't care for the character.
That's right, folks. You heard it here.
But he's one of my favorites just because he has everything pitted against him, and he still manages to run the company, keep the household in one piece,
Which is hard with a crew like he has.
and a fiance who's always getting kidnapped. And, you know, in the end, he set out to do everything he wanted to do.
And he achieves his goals.
He does.
Which is nice. That doesn't happen a lot in anime for some reason.
It doesn't, and it happens in the form of a child.
Mhm.
Instead of an adult, where the adults never get to do what they want to do.
And Yako.
My favorite character was Grell. Surprise, I know. I loved his comic relief he provided to the series, and I remember, maybe I shouldn't have been, but I was so shocked by his reveal and stuff whenever it happened.
I was too. I'm gonna be honest, I see stuff like that coming whenever I watch stuff, and I just did not see it.
I wasn't, but that's just because I connected it with the glasses.
I'll try not to say too much about
Yeah.
it, so we don't ruin it for anyone else, but...
One of my favorite sequences, though, in that entire series, when I think of the animation in that show, I really go back to that scene.
Grell's transformation.
Yeah, it's pretty, and a lot of the animation really is. It's not an action series, but you're watching these characters almost just sit around and talk, and it's interesting.
Except for when Sebastian's being beautiful and throwing around his cutlery.
Yes, my favorite character in this series is Prince Soma,
Oh, I almost forgot about him. Crazy Uncle Soma.
older brother.
Oh, older brother Soma. Crazy Uncle Zigbar.
Yes, Crazy Uncle Zigbar.
We'll explain our family to you someday.
Someday. But Soma is my favorite character in this, providing a lot of comic relief and working very well as Seal's character foil, where Seal is a very dedicated person working this small company in all aspects. Soma's in charge of an entire country and just not ready for it. And he has the childish behavior that you'd expect Seal to have. And Soma sort of teaches Seal that it's okay to be a kid at times. Not like in a direct way, but Seal kind of looks at him, gives him a speech about how pathetic he's being, but I feel like he took a little bit away because I feel like he started acting more upbeat after that episode.
Mm-hmm.
And Soma's only in like 3 episodes, but he's my favorite.
Yeah, they are wonderful episodes, and his character is is very entertaining to watch. It's a good time.
And nice balance, because the rest of the characters have a serious edge to them. They provide a serious edge to almost every character, but Soma's just...
Yeah,
Soma, he's just what
likewise,
you get.
I also enjoyed Agni in those episodes
Yes.
teaching Sebastian things. Like, of all people, you'd think Sebastian could not possibly learn anything from anyone.
Especially not a human.
But Agni actually shows him that the staff of the house can be a lot more useful than he gives them credit for, and I think that was a nice moment for them.
I just love the cooking competition.
Yeah, even the filler in this series, you know it's filler. It's obviously padding something, but it's enjoyable. These characters, despite not involved in the plot much, are very likable.
So do we want to wrap up with final opinions?
I would give this an 8.5 just because of the British accents. I know it was set to be that, but some of them were not well executed.
I'm admittedly kind of overlooking the voice acting in this one. I enjoyed the series. I became really involved with it. Was super excited about the second season until I saw it. And but season 1 it's a standalone. The way it ends, I think, is spot on and perfect for this series. And I struggle to think of an ending that I thought was more fitting to a series than the one that season 1 had. And so, ignoring the second season and kind of overlooking some of the voice acting, because I didn't hate it or love it, I'd give this one a 9.
And I give this series an even flat 8, because it's not quite my cup of tea. It's not a series that I liked after I finished it. While I was watching it, this was like one of my favorite anime ever, and then I finished it, and while it did have a very nice finished ending, I just suddenly stopped caring out of nowhere. And I think part of that might be the voice acting and just the characters' relations, despite being an emphasis, aren't that strong for me. It's just sort of, this is our relationship, this is how it works, and then we're done. So they don't explore a lot is my biggest problem with it. So that wraps it up for us.
That gives us you didn't give them the
an average.
So that gives us an average of 8.5 silverwares.
We're leaving now. I did the exit a little bit ago, so I'm just gonna go. Alright, we're Team Animeishness. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a comment.
If you didn't, you can leave a nasty comment. Those are always fun to read.
And as always, you can hit the like button or the subscribe button. That's my ball.
I know, but I didn't have anything to shoot.
This is our review of Black Butler, and we will
Now my Sebastian will love me.
see you in the next video. Later.